Welcome to B2B Life with Jeff Brummer. This is your chance to listen in on conversations with successful entrepreneurs and business owners on their journey to success. Every story is different, but after consulting thousands of businesses over the last 20 years managing their business payments, Jeff has seen what works and what doesn't. From inspiration to tactics to a good laugh, helping leaders build more fulfilling businesses and lives is what B2B Life is all about.
Welcome to the B2B Life Show. My name is Jeff Brummer. I've consulted over 2,600 businesses over the last 20 years in managing their payments to align their personal and business goals. In doing so, I bring experts in the B2B services world to help my clients leverage what I consider the best in the industry in their services. I'm here today with Sarah Brown. Sarah, hi.
Hi.
Sarah is the owner of TS Business Services. They're a leader in bookkeeping. She's owned that company for 3 years, but she's been bookkeeping for almost 20 years. So a rich service that she's offered some of my clients. We have some mutual clients, and she is the leader in the service for bookkeeping and all things keeping your money straight. So again, welcome, Sarah. Thanks for hopping on real quick. So I always think it's cool when business owners, me personally, I love meeting the person before I kind of get into like dollars and cents. So maybe tell us a little bit something about you personally, like who you are, family, where you're from, just a little background on you.
Yeah, I can definitely do that. So I live in the Treasure Valley in Idaho, in Boise, Idaho. I actually live in a town just outside of Boise called Nampa. I've been here my entire life. I've actually never lived anywhere else, but I do love to travel, so I get to go see a lot of really cool places. I have a partner, Terry. He's got 2 girls, 13 and 15, so I get to experience the joy that is teenage girls in the household. Always fun. We have 3 dogs. Cooper, Bree, and Scout is the youngest. They're all very well taken care of, get to sleep on beds and sofas, so they get to lead the plush life. Yeah. Little history. I do have 2 degrees. Both of them were in business because I didn't plan that very well, but the final one was an MBA. I used to work in corporate America, and then I asked for a raise and I didn't get it. And I was like, well, guess it's time to try different things. So I became self-employed, and here we are.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. It sounds like you got a active household and you like to travel. So that's those are all fun things. I'm similar in both those things. And then you're kind of similar to me. You're entrepreneur at heart, corporate America. You've kind of seen the big and the little. So what you touched on being able to kind of go off and do your own thing. How did that go? First off, like how did that leap? Tell us a little bit more about that.
Oh, it was terrifying. So I didn't actually just cold turkey it. So I had asked for a raise. They said yes. And then a couple months later, they came back and said, sorry, it's not in the budget. Well, between the time I had asked for a raise and that time, somebody had tried to poach me. And so I ended up not getting the job, obviously. And I asked the question, like, are you viewing me as a short timer now? And that's why that's not happening. And they said, no, that's not the case. That's not the case. And so I sat there for a second, contemplated my options, and was like, well, I can walk out right now, but who knows if I'll survive, right? Or I could plan accordingly and not put all my eggs in one basket. So I took 2 weeks off paid, and I went and took real estate classes to get my real estate license. So they actually paid me to do this. So that was kind of my little haha to them, right? And so I got licensed in 2017, January of 2017, and I actually did both for 2 years. And it was my plan to do both at the beginning for a while. And then I was doing my taxes in 2019. I looked at what I made selling real estate and the amount of time I spent there and the amount I made at my job, which it didn't suck. It wasn't a terrible job. I had a great job. So don't think that for 1 second, right? So I'd switched positions in the meantime, but how much time I spent there. And I was like, man, I think I'm spending my time on the wrong things. So I gave them 4 months notice. I gave notice in January. My first day of freedom was May 1st. And I knew when I left, I love real estate. I invest in real estate, but I didn't want to be married to being the real estate agent life. So when I left, I had the intent that I was going to continue doing that, but I wanted to buy failing businesses, make them profitable, and then turn around and resell them. That was my ultimate goal. Um, I haven't actually done that. I've only started businesses, but I'm
Yeah.
working my way that direction still, and I haven't looked back. So I hope to
Yeah.
never have to have
Cool.
another job ever again.
Well, we'll dig more into that into our part two, where we dig in a little extent, because I love the courage to jump, and it sounds like it was successful in the long term. As far as the TS Business Services, who's like your target client? Tell us a little bit about what you do, and who's your target client, and what you do for businesses.
Yeah, so my target client is actually the small business owner, right? The solopreneur, the up to maybe 5 to 10 employees. Part of the reason I picked that segment is because I hold a special place in my heart for them. A lot of professional services charge a lot of money, and so those guys feel like they can't really afford them, right? So then they're out there just trying to bootstrap it and figure it out on their own. And I was like, I can help these people. If I could save somebody the amount of tears, heartache, and stress that I went through just trying to learn this stuff and make their lives a little bit better, then I'm happy with that, and I like to do that. So I try to
Okay.
focus on just those guys.
So you tell us a little more tactically what you do. You're working with bank accounts, credit cards like ours, and you're
hmm
you're basically funneling that into QuickBooks. Any other accounting software? Kind of what do you guys do exactly?
Yeah, so we funnel that into QuickBooks. We can also funnel that into Xero, which Xero is to European and Australian companies, like QuickBooks is to United States, right? So Xero is quickly picking up here, so it's kind of newer to our offering. And so with that, we funnel all that data in, we organize it in a fashion that matches one, their tax strategy, and two, what metrics they're trying to get out of the business, right? So everybody tries to look for different things. So, like, one company might want to measure how well their advertising is doing, right? So we'll set up their chart of accounts so that we can get those kind of metrics out of there. One company may want to measure how their overhead matches and percentage wise to their revenue. And so we'll work through that. Um, One of the things that we really try to do is stay on top of the organizing and reconciliation every month. And then I actually work one on one with business owners to make sure we're getting the data out of it that they need and that they're understanding the data that we're getting out of it. Right.
Okay.
So asking really good questions to the business owners to make sure they're able to make the decisions they want to make and have good conversations with their CPA, to ask the right questions to them also. So we actually work hand in hand with the CPA and the business owner directly.
Yeah, I love that you guys specialize in that flow. I think a lot of CPAs, they're jack of all trades, and so the angle of, hey, what do we want the data to represent? Like, where are we gonna, like, how are we gonna, not just plugging and playing the data into a accounting software, actually taking, sounds like you guys take really thorough care of, hey, what should this look like to best represent the goals that the company has, not just plugging numbers into a QuickBooks. So that's cool. Well, good. As far as we'll kind of, I'd like to dig more of that into that in the part two, as far as maybe some examples for clients that have found success with you doing that and working with CPAs. As far as the credit card, obviously we overlap there. You and your employees are in the Spark account, the Capital One account, quite a bit. It sounds like. How's that experience been for your clients?
Uh, Amazing. It's so easy. So obviously, I also have a Spark card, so I connect it to my personal QuickBooks. We have a few clients that have it. We connect it to their QuickBooks, and it flows through seamlessly. Um, yeah, no,
Good.
it's a great card. It works awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm sure they love the two, you as well. The 2% cash back is pretty killer for you on
Uh,
all your
Oh
business.
yeah, I use the points, not just the cash back. So because I'm a
Oh, okay.
traveler, right?
Nice.
I take
Yeah.
advantage of that. So I take all those points and I get to use them towards my vacations or my travel expenses.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, in our part two, I definitely want to hear of a cool trip that that you've taken. So as far as the fees go, speaking of which, can your clients can pay for their bookkeeping fees on a card? Do you guys keep just card on file, or how do you handle that?
We do. So one of the cool things we do that most other companies don't do is we charge a flat rate every month. This makes it easier for those small businesses to be able to budget for our services. And so it motivates us and it motivates them to learn how to be more efficient and effective, right? So I've worked with people to streamline their processes in office to help make all of this easier. And so we keep a card on file. We charge the first of the month every month. And then if there's extra work outside of that, then we do an hourly rate, but we invoice it and then charge 30 days later automatically, which gives them time to review that invoice. But yeah, all cards are kept on file and charged.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we have some mutual clients, and I think your prices are extremely fair for what the expert level you guys offer. So that's killer that they also can pay on a card. So I'd love to work with you more and my clients on that. We'll kind of delve more in that into our part two. As well, I personally on a side business have one of your virtual assistants, and she's been amazing. So I know that's not the focus of your business. That may be something you guys are growing in the future, but shout out for that. That they can even pay for that service on their credit card, which is pretty second to none. Like I'm not aware of anywhere where you can pay for a service or an employee on a credit card. So I love the fact that I need to refer you guys more business on that as well. So
Awesome. Yes.
well, cool. Well, we'll wrap this up real quickly. Where can people find you, Sarah? What's the best way to get a hold of you?
They can go to our website. We have a contact us and a chat box on our website, which is actually no www, take that out. It's tsbusinessservices.com. Or they can find us on social media on Facebook, which is just TS Business Services. I think we're the only one on there because every time I search for it, it comes up easy.
Okay, I need to do that too. So we'll put that in the show notes and have people directed towards there. Sarah, we'll catch you here on the part two. Everyone, please tune in to part two, and thanks for hopping on.